Hey guys, Jim Russell here, Jackson Kayak Fishing Team. Just wanted to do a little walkthrough of some of the gear I use for free dive spearfishing off my kayak and from shore here in Northern California. So we're gonna start with the basics. The water up here is pretty darn cold, so really need a quality 7mm free dive wetsuit. I've been using this one from Pathos, but they have a bunch of different brands out there. I personally like this one because it has reinforced elbow and knee pads and a spear gun loading pad right there on the chest. We do a lot of diving around rocks and boulders and crawling into cracks and caves. So the reinforcement on the knees and the elbows, I think really helps the suit last a lot longer. Also, of course, you need some booties. Make sure your feet stay warm. I wear these Argos ones. They're super solid. You can walk around on the rocks. Got a little neoprene pad on the bottom there, and they're not gonna get torn up super quick. Then your gloves, they have a bunch of different free dive brands of gloves. Any one of those will work. Long blade fins, once again, gazillion different kinds. I've recently been trying out these new Subcraft ones. As you can see, they're carbon, super flexible. You get a lot of power per kick. Really gonna help you get down to the bottom and back up with minimal energy. So whatever ones you get, make sure you try them out and make sure the foot pocket really fits you before you drop some money on them. Also, of course, your weight belt. Everybody's weight varies. This is the usual belt I wear for rockfish and lingcod free diving. I've also got a knife on there. I need to dispatch any fish or get myself out of any trouble. And a stringer. If I shoot any fish and I'm not ready to go back to shore or to my kayak, I can run that little spike right through the eyes of the fish, back here, through a little clip, and the fish just trails behind me. I've also got a little quick weight here. Comes on and off super easy. That way, if I need to adjust my weight because I'm diving deeper or shallower, I can take that off really quickly. Moving along, very simple mask. J Snorkel. The lower volume, the better on the mask. It will mean you have to use less air to equalize the space by your eyes, and therefore you'll be able to stay down longer and get less mask squeeze. I use this very simple GoPro. I got a Hero 4 right now, and many people, they mount them on their mask or on their gun or things like that. All I do is just wear the head strap and wear it under my hood. Really doesn't cause me any problems with water leakage or anything like that. Simple, works. Been using it for years. Good solid dive light. This one is a 1,000 lumen light, and it's made by Dark Waters Dive Company, which is part of Red Triangle Spearfishing. Check them out online, redtrianglespearfishing.com. For guns, I've got two different guns that I usually use that I'll bring out with me. I've got a 75 and a 90. 75 is kind of the workhorse for me. It's got plenty of power, plenty of range. I've taken down up to 30-pound plus stripers and halibut with it. And I've got this one running with a reel. That way I don't gotta mess around with the float line or anything. Shoot the fish, fish takes off, reel line goes out, you hold onto the gun, then fight the fish and track it down. The 90, I don't have a reel. I use this float line over here. Nice skinny float line from Red Triangle. Super lightweight. This is a 75-foot float line. The diameter of the line is super thin, but super strong. So it takes up a lot less space and weight than your traditional thick, bulky float line. So I really like that one a lot. Both these guns, single flopper, nothing fancy, nice and simple. They're open instead of closed muzzle. That way when you shoot a fish in a hole or a crack, the muzzle, the shaft can come free and it won't potentially break the muzzle if it hasn't cleared the whole area there. So really like those a lot. Of course, want to make sure you have a measuring device, double, triple check, make sure all your fish are legal. Obviously, if you're in question or in doubt, shouldn't pull the trigger to begin with, but always good to know your limits and your sizes and your regulations before you get out there. And then final piece of gear I want to talk about. This is a free dive recovery vest. Really, I wish more people wore these. It has a pretty fancy, they call it an actuator. It's a little computer here, and you can set maximum depth and time limits. If you exceed either the depth or the time limit, if say like 60 feet at 2 minutes, if you go down past 60 feet, it will automatically trigger the CO2 cylinder and inflate the air bladders on either side, and it'll come up to the surface very quickly in a face upright position. Same thing if you exceed the time limit, and also if you black out of the surface and you sink out within 10 seconds, it'll also inflate. You can also pull the ripcord here to inflate it manually, or push the button 4 times in rapid succession to inflate it manually, or you can also use, if the CO2 canister is already deployed and you're not inflated at that time, you have a little air valve so you can inflate it. Say if you're lost at sea or you get caught in a current and get drifted out there, you can still inflate that. It's a great piece of equipment, and you know, obviously the best course is always diving with a buddy and being safe, but this is kind of an extra little insurance policy that I like to use. That's pretty much the majority of my gear. When I'm kayak diving, I dive off the Kraken 13.5. It's a great kayak. It's light enough that I can carry it over my head to get to and from my dive spots, and I can also put all my gear inside it and any nice fish I get inside it. That way my deck is nice and clean, and I don't gotta worry about losing or damaging any gear during surf launch or landing. If you have any questions, you can contact me on Facebook or Instagram. I'm Big Jim Spiro. And yeah, that's it. Get out there, dive safe, and have fun.